Guys, look at that. That's the way we came. Isn't the surrounding absolutely gorgeous? At this upper part it gets tricky. You see, you can't really see the footprints, but further down you can see it. So here, I mean, depends on you. You can actually still walk up it or crawl like it did. As you can see, everything on me is sandy, but it's fun. I can feel my knees
already.
Yeah.
So the trick, try and follow in someone's footsteps. Let's make it easier, and small steps, especially when you at an angle. Smaller the steps, the easier. Yeah. I don't know, something to do with gravity, I suppose. Because if you're at an angle and you're walking, you slide down. So smaller steps make sense, and it saves a little bit of energy. And following in someone's footsteps also.
On this episode of Across All Borders Going South, when Big Daddy calls, I'll answer. Big Daddy, Deadvlei, Sossusvlei, Dune 45. The Big Daddy Dune is the tallest dune in the Sossusvlei area. It is such an impressive icon that you would have seen it in a lot of photographs if you're thinking about visiting Namibia. The dune is situated between the Sossusvlei and Deadvlei area, and it stands at 325 meters and dwarfs all the other dunes around it. So if you're looking for something to brag about, then climbing the Big Daddy might be one of them. It is, however, not the highest dune measured in the Namib Desert. This honor goes to Dune 7, which is measured at 388. However, a lot of people head over to the Sossusvlei area to either climb Dune 45 or Big Daddy at sunrise. We arrived on August 4th, 2021 at the Sesriem Camp, where we'll be spending 2 nights, preparing for the climb on the 5th early in the morning. It's about an hour's drive to get from the camp to get to the parking lot area where you actually start your climb or your trek towards starting the climb. When you get to the parking lot area, you will see that you can either go one way heading towards Deadvlei, which is this wonderful clay pan with trees that are over 1,000 years old that have become so dry and they do not rot in the heat. It's impressive. The beautiful thing about climbing Big Daddy is at a particular point, you can immediately already start to see the impressive landscape of Deadvlei and its surroundings. And what I would want you to pay attention to is the colors. How the colors can be interpreted based on the lens, based on the light, based on the time. It is mesmerizing, and you don't leave out the wildlife. We saw the black beetle, the Schwarzkäfer as it's called, which has a very, very important significance to the area. We saw some ostriches, we saw some oryx, and it is just some springboks. It is amazing. It's a very beautiful experience. The climbing itself is tricky. It's tricky because you're walking on soft sand and it makes it difficult for you to advance at an incline. So bear in mind and listen for some tips. We chose the option of climbing Big Daddy first and then running down to Deadvlei and then walking out of Deadvlei. By the time we were done, there was not enough time for me to climb Dune 45 in the heat. So it really depends on your speed and your fitness level. You might be able to do both in the same day before the sun starts to knock down on your head. So with no further delay, let's enjoy this experience and definitely put it on your to-do list if you plan to visit Namibia, or make it your reason to visit Namibia.
Some things you must do at least once, right? And I'm glad.
Yeah. Huh?
It looks like it's not a Germany.
Really?
you look like a Namibian.
Oh, okay.
You know
Okay,
what?
you have
know
to
what?
give me passport. Oh.
You know what? You're correct on one point. She lives in Germany, but she was born in Nigeria.
So you have to give me Namibian passport now because you've called me Namibian.
Yeah.
No, you have said Namibia, so give me passport.
It's the family for Ubu.
Ibo,
yeah.
Ibo, Omoibo, Chineke.
The richest man, eh?
Yeah.
The richest man. Okay, now you see it's in Namibia.
Yeah, one Namibian. No. One Namibian, one foreigner.
Yo, Big Daddy vibes, let's go. So, good morning, rise and shine. We are in Deadvlei and we made it, and it is freaking cold. I have not checked the temperature, but I have seen Big Daddy and I'm feeling humbled at the sight of Big Daddy. So we're gonna hope to get up there. Good thing is all the people that came the same time about us, they all, you know, rushed up and gone up. So it'll give us some motivation to try to overtake some people or not. And I'll show you something very nice to note. No drones. So if you have your drones, you cannot bring it with you. And that is the big boy we're going to be climbing today. So let's get a bit of breakfast. Not really breakfast, just coffee. And I did see an ostrich. I'm sure it was an ostrich. Yeah. It was an ostrich, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, first because of the color, I was like, it's a jackal. I was like, no, it's walking funny for a jackal. It was a little too big for a jackal. But it was maybe a juvenile. It wasn't that big. Yeah, from the colors, I don't know. They make it sound like it's a life-threatening thing. Oh my gosh, it's so easy. And it's like these dudes, they're like 6 guys healthy, like 6 guys go to the gym. It's the toughest thing.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, no, this is that the ostrich, ain't it?
In the morning.
Oryx.
Oh, that's oryx?
Yeah.
So actually,
What do you want to do? You want to do the short one?
so I
Let's go for the short one so
yeah.
we can get back home.
Yeah, because I'll have to. So right now the time is 7, 8, almost 10 minutes to 8.
And
Right.
you want to leave here at 9:30? Is that what you said?
I want to leave by 9:30 from here.
Okay.
So then
9:30. You're not gonna get to the top. Like
No.
it's gonna take longer than
Oh,
that.
he's fit. I mean, you can leave us some
Yeah.
I think he might be able to
Yeah.
make it. So
I
you run up the hill and
Go
then
and
you
come.
take...
Yes. There's a path.
Okay.
We cut up there.
So you stayed in which lodge?
Sossusvlei Lodge.
Sossusvlei. Oh,
Dune
okay.
Did you like it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean anything. I mean it's quite nice actually.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
about you guys?
We're camping.
We're camping.
Oh, you.
We did it a
Yeah.
cheap way. We're camping.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are much cooler than I am.
That was,
Thankfully,
I
I'm
think,
not saying
34
anything.
days. So guys, this is a Nara bush.
Okay.
This is how you write it. The click, line, dot. Nara.
Okay.
Nara bush comes from the word Nara. It's named after the fruit. We also had Nama and Nara people, and these people were semi-nomadic, meaning they used to live here, move along to where they could find food, etc. So what is the use for the Nara? Why? So why Nara? What's important about this ugly looking bush? The Nara people use the fruit. This is where the fruits form, and it makes a roundish fruit. Inside would be very bitter, but not poisonous at all. So if you're stuck in the desert, you need water. This is what you would eat to get moisture in. And the seeds, they would dry, ground it into a paste, powder, sorry, and then they would use that to bake their bread as well. So this is the Nara bush. The fruit is being eaten by the jackal, the ostrich. Lots of animals here eat the fruit. So photosynthesis, as you can see, there's no leaves. Everything happens in here with the fine lines.
Thorns.
Yeah, with the thorns, everything happens in here. So that is the Nara bush. Nara bush, important for the desert. One more thing, it anchors the ground, as you can see. If there was no bush here, everything would have been flat. So it basically changes the nature as well. So Nara bush, there we go. The tallest in Namibia would be the one close to Warfish Bay, Dune 7. This one is the highest in this area.
What is that, a beetle?
Yeah, that's the black tok-toki, he's still alive.
Does he bite?
No, he doesn't.
Can you put it here? Ooh.
That's the black Schwarzkäfer,
Uh-huh.
or the tok-toki. You know what's very good about him?
What?
This is the last guy in the food chain. If I have to throw away an apple here, it will not rot and, you know, corrode. Why? There's not enough bacteria to break it down.
Okay.
The dead trees that you will see on the other side, those trees are also there because there's not enough bacteria because of the heat. So these guys are the last in the food chain, if anything dies, to clear up. So yeah, that's the tok-toki. Tok-toki comes from the Afrikaans word tok-toki.
Nightmare would be rolling down the tank.
Yeah?
Not because I'm rolling down,
Why?
but because of my dread.
Oh yeah.
Getting
Oh yeah.
sand in it. We're not at the top yet. We're at 685 meters, and we've walked 1.46 kilometers. Right back there were just some shiny silver things. That's the car park, so that's where we started from. So we're going to kind of try to continue to make our way up. The bottom. I guess if I, okay, no I haven't. I was gonna say, I guess if I film it in the general direction, I should get him. Is the other one down already? Ah, there you go. Wow, he looks like an ant in my lens. A lot of fun. As you can see, I'm carrying my shoes because it's a lot better walking with socks, I find. So I feel my feet and it's not dragging into the sand. I got the walking stick, so I'm like happy. Might be knackered later, but it's happy days. Guys, this is the fun part of the whole thing. takes you like forever to get up. It takes you like seconds to literally, slide down. And we're doing it without shoes because it's much more real. And if you feel like you can actually run, I'm not running, I'm doing like, you know, like a granny walk. It does well for me. But whatever catches your flavor, that's what you should do. Cheers.
Sand there, so the wind blows from that direction very strong. It deposits sand onto it, and all the sand is being blown on top of it. It's going to be much redder than the sand dunes in Walfish Bay and in Swakopmund. Also, the reason for that being here, you have much more iron in the sand.
Oh.
There. Yeah, through the trees here in the background, added electronically. But the tree is still the same. That tree has been that for many years. But if you see the tree, you'll see the movie. You can clearly see it.
Cool. Over 1,000 years there hasn't been water here. Sometimes, however, when it rains, it gets soft enough for people to leave some footprints like we're seeing it here in the surface of the ground. Otherwise, these trees you see here have been dead over several years, and the reasons why they haven't rot is because there's no bacteria here. It's very hot, so there's no bacteria to eat it off. There is a particular beetle that actually consumes the rest of the things that we drop. Help me out with the name.
Zwartschiefer or black beetle.
The black beetle. We have a small footage of it. I'll show you that the black beetle is like at the bottom of the food chain, and it eats the rest of the things that if you did drop something, which you shouldn't, and it's like an apple stump, it will eat it. But the trees we see here are most likely acacia, right?
Yeah.
They're most likely acacia, and acacia can survive in the desert with less water. But when all of this happened, they more or less drowned because they couldn't handle how much water was here. We're gonna walk through it, walk through out the back, and then stop at 45. So let's go. So guys, this is the hidden Vlei. Reason why it's called the hidden Vlei is that you have to kind of like walk behind to find it. And that's Deadvlei, the bigger one. So I want to pan around so you see both. So this is the hidden Vlei, and right around the bigger one, right at the foot of Big Daddy, is Deadvlei. It's very impressive. These trees are so old that it makes you humble to be able to see and experience them today. So guys, welcome to Dune 45 in the Namib Desert. You might be asking yourself, why is it called Dune 45? It's because it's 45 kilometers away from the base camp where the people that came to study the leopard-faced vulture, the leopard-faced vultures, set up their base camp. So they started to number the dunes to be able to find them based on the distance away from their camp. But this dune is actually very famous because it's one of the best places to climb up early in the morning and see the sun rising over the desert and get brilliant pictures and impressions of the desert. Is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so the sun is hitting down hard down on us. I'm gonna see if I can make it up the dune. It doesn't look that very high, but I'm just gonna walk close and show you what it looks like. Otherwise, on your way to Big Daddy, which we went up, you will see this, and you will also see the valley or the plain with the dead trees of over 1,000 years. So let's go check it out. Wow, the sun is powerful. You can't see nothing. I'm just realizing you can't see anything on the screen. It's like, whoa.
I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Yours truly, Liesel.
If you want to make it easier climbing, step in someone else's footprints. So you use less energy creating new footprints and you can walk faster.